Have you ever stopped to think that your bedtime habits, the small things you do each night, could actually be putting your life at risk? It sounds dramatic, but the data backs it up. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, more than 70,000 seniors die in their sleep every year in the United States alone. And many of these deaths are not simply due to old age. They're linked to overlooked but preventable nighttime habits. As we age, our bodies go through subtle but powerful changes. After 60, things like muscle strength, heart function, sleep rhythms, and blood pressure all become more delicate. Even small disruptions can trigger bigger problems. But here's the issue. Most people keep doing what they've always done, decades-old habits, without realizing that their routines might now be increasing their risk of injury or death. That's why in this video, we're going to explore 7 dangerous sleep habits that have already contributed to countless health emergencies and even deaths among seniors this year alone. You may not realize just how serious some of these behaviors are, but I promise you'll want to hear all 7. In fact, habit number 2 is the most life-threatening, so make sure to stick around. But don't worry, we won't just leave you with a list of problems. For every risk we discuss, we'll share simple, practical changes you can make tonight to sleep safer, stay healthier, and feel more confident about your bedtime routine. Before we jump in, if this is your first time here, welcome to our healthy living community. We're so glad you found us. Take a moment to like this video and subscribe so you never miss another tip on how to live stronger, longer, and safer, especially after 60. And if you're watching from outside the US, drop your country in the comments. We love seeing where our community is tuning in from. All right, let's get started. Sleep habit number 7, drinking too much water before bed. Staying hydrated is essential, especially as we age. Water helps regulate temperature, support joints, improve digestion, and carry nutrients throughout the body. But drinking too much water right before bed? That can actually be dangerous. Why? Because our kidneys slow down with age, and our bladders become more sensitive. Drinking a large amount of water or tea in the evening increases your likelihood of waking up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom. And that's not just inconvenient, it's risky. Getting up half asleep, in the dark, with lower nighttime blood pressure and weakened balance can lead to serious falls. In fact, nighttime trips to the bathroom are one of the leading causes of fall-related injuries among seniors. And unfortunately, falls remain the #1 reason older adults are hospitalized in the US. We left off with a habit that seems harmless, even healthy, but can actually be dangerous for seniors: drinking too much water before bed. Let's be clear, hydration is vital. Water keeps every system in your body running. Your joints, your brain, and your digestion all rely on it. But as we age, how our bodies process and retain fluids changes. Our kidneys become less efficient, and our bladders can't hold as much. At the same time, our body's signals that say you need to go become more urgent and harder to ignore. So when you drink a large glass of water or tea or juice within an hour or 2 of going to sleep, you're more likely to wake up in the night to use the bathroom. And getting up at night, even just once, can pose a serious risk. You may not be fully alert. The room might be dark, your blood pressure is lower, and you may feel lightheaded when you stand. This combination can easily lead to a fall, which is one of the most dangerous emergencies for people over 60. According to the CDC, many nighttime falls result in hip fractures, head injuries, or hospital stays, and the recovery from these injuries is often long and difficult. But the dangers don't end there. Interrupted sleep can damage your health. Getting up multiple times at night disrupts your sleep cycle, which means you're missing out on the deep, restorative sleep your body needs to function well. Poor sleep has been linked to memory problems, weakened immune response, higher inflammation levels, increased risk of dementia and Alzheimer's. And here's something many don't realize. Your heart works harder when your body is trying to process excess fluids at night. For seniors with heart conditions, this can trigger irregular heartbeats, or worse, serious cardiac strain. What you should do instead. So, how can you stay hydrated safely without sacrificing sleep? Hydrate during the day, especially between morning and early evening. Aim to drink most of your fluids before 6 p.m. After dinner, slow down your fluid intake. Avoid drinking large glasses of water or tea close to bedtime. If you're thirsty at night, just take a few small sips, not a full glass. Avoid caffeine and diuretics like black tea, green tea, and some juices in the evening, as these make you urinate more frequently. Use night lights or motion-activated lights to safely guide your path to the bathroom. Get up slowly and allow your blood pressure to stabilize before walking. These small adjustments can protect your sleep, reduce the risk of falls, and ease the burden on your heart and kidneys, all without compromising the benefits of staying hydrated. For many people, a small snack before bed feels comforting. It's a familiar part of winding down. But if you're over 60, this simple habit might be doing more harm than good, especially if it's something heavy, fatty, or sugary. Habit number 6. Eating too late at night. As we age, our metabolism slows down, our digestion becomes less efficient, and the body's ability to manage blood sugar and cholesterol isn't what it used to be. When you eat late at night, especially close to bedtime, your body doesn't have enough time to properly digest the food before you lie down. This can lead to a host of problems, especially for older adults. Common consequences of late-night eating: heartburn and acid reflux. When you lie down with a full stomach, gravity no longer helps keep stomach acid in its place. This increases the risk of reflux, especially for seniors with hiatal hernias or weakened digestion. Over time, chronic reflux can damage the esophagus and even lead to aspiration pneumonia, where stomach contents are inhaled into the lungs during sleep. Blood sugar spikes. Eating close to bedtime, particularly meals high in refined carbs or sugar, can cause blood sugar to spike while you sleep. And since insulin sensitivity tends to decline with age, this can contribute to type 2 diabetes or worsen blood sugar control in those already diagnosed. Disrupted sleep and elevated blood pressure. Digestion requires energy. If your body is working on a big meal instead of resting, you're less likely to reach deep, restorative sleep. What's more, studies have shown that eating late can cause your blood pressure to stay elevated during the night when it should naturally dip. This non-dipping pattern is a risk factor for heart attacks and strokes, increased risk of arrhythmias. Heavy or fatty foods eaten late can put additional stress on the heart and even trigger irregular heartbeats, especially in people already managing cardiovascular conditions. What to do instead? Aim to finish dinner at least 3 hours before going to bed. This gives your body time to digest before you lie down. Choose lighter evening meals. Think grilled fish or chicken, steamed vegetables, and whole grains. Avoid heavy, fried, or spicy foods that can trigger heartburn or indigestion. If you do need a snack before bed, go for something small and gentle on the stomach: a few almonds, plain yogurt, half a banana, a small bowl of oatmeal. Simple adjustments like these don't just protect your sleep, they also lower your risk of nighttime reflux, blood sugar imbalance, and cardiovascular stress. Most people have a go-to sleep position they've used for years, without ever thinking twice about it. But as we age, the way we sleep becomes more important than ever. It turns out, sleeping in the wrong position can quietly increase your risk of breathing problems, heart stress, acid reflux, and even cognitive decline. Habit number 5. Sleeping in the wrong position. Let's start with one of the worst offenders for older adults: sleeping on your back, also known as the supine position. It might seem harmless or even comfortable, but for seniors, it's often the riskiest way to sleep. Here's why. When you sleep on your back, gravity pulls your tongue and soft tissues backward, partially blocking your airway. This doesn't just lead to snoring. For many people, especially those with undiagnosed sleep apnea, it can cause temporary pauses in breathing throughout the night. These breathing disruptions can reduce the amount of oxygen reaching your brain and body. Over time, that oxygen deprivation has been linked to high blood pressure, heart arrhythmias, stroke, cognitive decline. A study in the Journal of Clinical Sleep Medicine found that seniors who sleep on their backs have a 22% higher risk of nighttime cardiac events compared to side sleepers. And it's not just about breathing. Other risks of back sleeping. If you suffer from acid reflux or have a hiatal hernia, lying flat on your back allows stomach acid to flow into the esophagus more easily, especially after a late meal. This can lead to silent reflux, which not only causes discomfort, but also increases the risk of aspiration, where stomach contents enter the lungs, raising the chance of pneumonia. Recent research from Stony Brook University showed that back sleeping also reduces the brain's ability to clear waste, which may allow harmful proteins to build up, potentially accelerating diseases like Alzheimer's. So, what's the best position? Experts widely agree. The left side is the safest and most beneficial sleep position, particularly for older adults. Sleeping on your left side helps to improve blood circulation, reduce reflux, support digestion, relieve pressure on the heart, enhance brain waste clearance. Meanwhile, sleeping on your right side can place pressure on large blood vessels, which may slightly increase the risk of heart issues in people with existing conditions. Tips to train yourself to sleep on your side. Place a firm pillow between your knees to support your hips and spine. Use another pillow behind your back to prevent rolling over. Try an orthopedic pillow for proper neck alignment. If you struggle with reflux, elevate the head of your bed slightly to reduce symptoms. Making this small shift in your sleep position can dramatically improve your breathing, protect your brain, and help you wake up feeling more rested and healthy. As we age, comfort becomes more important, and that often means turning up the heat, piling on extra blankets, or shutting every window tight before bed. But what feels cozy may not be what's healthiest. In fact, for seniors, sleeping in a warm bedroom can pose hidden risks that affect everything from memory to heart health. Habit number 4. Sleeping in a room that's too hot. Your body is naturally designed to cool down as you fall asleep. This temperature drop sends a signal to your brain that it's time to rest, helping you enter deep, restorative stages of sleep. But when your room is too warm, your body struggles to cool off, and that means shallower, more restless sleep. A study published in the American Journal of Geriatric Psychiatry found that older adults sleeping in rooms warmer than 70 degrees Fahrenheit, 21 degrees Celsius, experienced up to 30% less slow-wave sleep, the phase responsible for memory consolidation, immune system repair, and overall physical restoration. What happens when deep sleep is disrupted? Without that deep sleep, several problems begin to surface. Increased inflammation in the body, elevated nighttime blood pressure, higher risk of infection due to a weaker immune system, accelerated memory loss and cognitive decline. Over time, missing out on these crucial sleep phases can increase your risk of chronic illnesses like heart disease, diabetes, and even dementia. And there's more. Overheating can harm your heart and brain. Older adults are less efficient at regulating body temperature. When the bedroom is too warm, your body can easily become dehydrated during the night, even if you don't notice it. You may sweat lightly, lose fluids, and wake up feeling sluggish, foggy, or unusually thirsty. That dehydration thickens your blood, increases strain on the heart, and raises your risk of blood clots, arrhythmias, strokes, heart attacks. These risks are even greater if you already have heart or respiratory conditions. Your body has to work harder just to maintain a stable internal temperature, using energy that should be going toward rest and repair. The ideal sleep environment for seniors. Experts recommend keeping your bedroom between 60 to 67 degrees Fahrenheit, 15 to 19 degrees Celsius, for optimal sleep. Here are a few easy ways to create a cooler, safer sleep space. Use lightweight, breathable bedding. Cotton sheets are best. Avoid electric blankets or heavy comforters that trap heat. Layer your blankets so you can adjust easily during the night. Open a window slightly or use a quiet fan to promote airflow. Avoid wearing thick pajamas or socks that retain heat. These small changes can help your body cool properly, improve your sleep quality, and reduce risks linked to cardiovascular and cognitive stress. Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night, swung your legs out of bed, stood up, and suddenly felt dizzy or like the room was spinning? It's not just you. This sensation, common among older adults, can be a significant danger and one that leads to thousands of falls and hospital visits every year. Habit number 3. Getting out of bed too quickly. The issue here is something called orthostatic hypotension, a sudden drop in blood pressure when you go from lying down to standing. As we age, our circulatory system becomes less efficient at quickly adjusting blood flow when we change positions. Here's what happens. Blood pools in the lower half of your body when you lie down. If you stand up too fast, your brain doesn't get enough oxygen-rich blood immediately. You feel dizzy, lightheaded, or even faint. This isn't just an uncomfortable sensation, it's a serious fall risk. And falls are the leading cause of injury-related hospitalization among seniors. Why this is so dangerous at night? The risk is even higher at night or early morning for a few reasons. Blood pressure is naturally lower while you sleep. Room lighting is reduced, making it harder to see obstacles. You may still be disoriented or drowsy. Certain medications can amplify the effect. A study published in JAMA Internal Medicine found that older adults with orthostatic hypotension were far more likely to suffer fractures, head injuries, and even death compared to those without it. And many of these incidents happen on the way to the bathroom at night. What can you do to protect yourself? The good news? You can dramatically lower your risk with just a few simple adjustments to your routine. 1. Take your time. When you first wake up, don't rush. Sit up slowly and stay seated on the edge of the bed for a moment. Wiggle your toes, flex your ankles, take a few deep breaths. Let your circulation catch up before standing. 2. Stay hydrated. Mild dehydration is common in older adults and can make orthostatic hypotension worse. Keep a glass of water by your bed and take a small sip before you get up. Just don't overdo it if you're prone to nighttime bathroom trips. Number 3. Light the way. Install nightlights or motion sensor lighting between your bed and bathroom. This minimizes the risk of tripping or losing your balance in the dark. 4. Watch your footing. Avoid walking in slippery socks or barefoot. Wear non-slip slippers with good grip and keep your floor clear of clutter or throw rugs. 5. Review your medications. Some drugs, including blood pressure meds, sedatives, and antidepressants, can worsen dizziness. Talk to your doctor about timing and possible adjustments. By adopting these habits, you'll reduce your risk of falls, protect your independence, and feel more confident navigating your home at night. Coming up next, we tackle habit number 2, perhaps the most dangerous of all. In part 7, we'll look at why ignoring snoring, breathing pauses, or chronic insomnia could be putting your heart, brain, and life at risk. We've covered a lot of ground, but the 2 most dangerous sleep habits are still ahead. Ones that affect millions of seniors, yet often go completely ignored. Let's start with something you, or someone you love, might have brushed off as just getting older. Habit number 2. Ignoring snoring, pauses in breathing, or insomnia. Loud snoring, frequent awakenings, gasping for air, or difficulty staying asleep aren't just annoying. They're often signs of a serious medical condition, especially obstructive sleep apnea. This disorder causes your airway to close repeatedly during sleep, cutting off oxygen for several seconds at a time. This can happen dozens or even hundreds of times a night, and you might not even realize it's happening. Each of these episodes causes a drop in oxygen levels, forcing your heart to work harder to keep blood circulating. Over time, this puts enormous strain on your body and dramatically increases your risk of high blood pressure, heart attacks, stroke, cognitive decline. A large study from the Sleep Heart Health Study found that untreated sleep apnea increases the risk of fatal heart attacks by 30% and strokes by up to 60% in older adults. Even more alarming, nearly 40% of seniors may have sleep apnea, but 80% of cases go undiagnosed. And it's not just about the heart. Without deep, restorative sleep, your brain can't clear waste or consolidate memories effectively. This can lead to brain fog, confusion, and even accelerated dementia progression. If you or a loved one experience loud snoring, gasping or choking during sleep, waking up tired or with headaches, trouble staying awake during the day, chronic insomnia, don't wait. Talk to your doctor or a sleep specialist. Treatments like CPAP machines, weight management, or simple lifestyle changes can reduce your risk dramatically, up to 42% for cardiovascular events, according to recent studies. Habit number 1. Taking certain medications at bedtime without caution. Many seniors take medications at night as part of their wind-down routine, whether it's for sleep, pain, blood pressure, or anxiety. But this habit can be quietly dangerous. Sedatives and sleeping pills, especially benzodiazepines like diazepam or clonazepam, slow your central nervous system. This can lead to shallow breathing, next morning grogginess, dizziness, and confusion, a higher risk of falls, fractures, and even death. A study in the British Medical Journal found that older adults who regularly use benzodiazepines have a significantly increased risk of hospitalizations and early death. And it's not just sleeping pills. Muscle relaxants, antidepressants, and painkillers can interfere with deep sleep and worsen cognitive issues. Even common NSAIDs like ibuprofen can stress your kidneys and liver when used long-term. Some blood pressure medications, when taken at night, may lower your blood pressure too much, reducing oxygen to the brain and raising the risk of stroke or fainting. What can you do? Always talk to your doctor or pharmacist about the timing and side effects of your meds. Ask about safer alternatives to sedatives or sleep aids, like melatonin, herbal teas, or relaxation techniques. If you take blood pressure meds at night, monitor your readings and report unusual symptoms like dizziness or fainting. Final thoughts. Small changes, big impact by adjusting just a few habits. Your hydration, meal timing, sleep position, lighting, temperature, and medications, you can dramatically reduce your risk of nighttime emergencies and improve your quality of sleep. So now, take action. Start tonight. Try one small change and build from there. Have you unknowingly made one of these mistakes? Or do you have a bedtime routine that's improved your sleep and health? Share your experience in the comments. You never know who it might help. If this video brought you value, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss our next life-changing health tip. Thank you for being here. And here's to safer, stronger, better sleep for years to come.